Here's a rewrite tailored for a Western audience. Think revenge or Gone Girl style, focusing on sharp dialogue, visceral imagery, and a gripping cliffhanger title. The breath of the dead, my eyes flew open, my chest heaving as if I'd just clawed my way out of a grave. The phantom sensation of the oxygen tube being wrenched from my throat still lingered sharp, cold, and suffocating like a viper's fangs embedded in my memory. Dust most danced in the sunbeams slicing through the curtains. On the sofa, a woman was glued to her phone. Her tone a sickly blend of sugar and venom. Mom, are you even listening? Get moving. If you don't hit the East Side Market in the next 10 minutes, the crabs will be gone. I tore my gaze from the floor to the wall clock. 9:15 to the very second. It was the same time I'd unearthed Esber's betrayal in my past life. I could still smell the antiseptic of the ICU, hear the flat line of the heart monitor. 3 months ago, I'd reached for my son, Barry, begging for help, but he'd stood there like a statue, his eyes as cold and still as a frozen lake, watching as my daughter-in-law, the woman I'd loved like my own flesh and blood, slowly peeled the mask of oxygen from my face. Her nails were painted a crimson red, looking like they'd already been dipped in my blood. Thank you for accusing me of cheating, she purred, her smile more venomous than a snake's. Otherwise, Barry and I never could have taken your money so easily. Barry hadn't even glanced at me. He just pulled her close, whispering, she's the only thing that matters to me. That was when I knew the son I'd raised for 20 years was rotten to the bone, poisoned by her lies. My knuckles whitened as I squeezed my palms, the pain a welcome anchor to the present. The past was a ghost, but I was alive to haunt it. Mom. Esther looked up, finally, her perfectly made-up face twisting into a pout. Did you hear me? I want the biggest ones. Barry's bringing home a guest for dinner tonight. She went back to her phone, completely oblivious to the storm brewing in my chest. I stood up, my joints cracking with the weight of a second chance. Sure, honey, I said, my voice eerily calm. I'll get the biggest crabs they have. I walked past her to the front door, grabbing my purse big enough to bury you both in. I paused at the threshold, my hand on the doorknob. Oh, and Esther. She looked up, annoyed. What? I almost forgot to ask. I smiled, letting my eyes drift to her neck, the exact spot where I'd clawed at her in the ICU. How does it feel to be talking to a ghost? The phone slipped from her hand, clattering onto the coffee table.